Good afternoon, church family. How are you guys? I wanted to take just a couple of minutes to give you a little walkthrough here at the building. I told you yesterday that we are looking to raise a little bit of money just so that our budget doesn't take a hit and ministry doesn't take a hit in order to get this accomplished. This is something we did not necessarily budget for, but something we were planning. Actually, when we set the budget this past year, we set the budget, and our budget includes multiple items. It obviously includes taking care of staff, my full-time salary, Daniel's part-time salary. It includes, obviously utilities, maintenance, and upkeep of our building. Our budget includes, all of the technology that we have here. Let's see, what else does budget obviously includes our missionaries. Day-to-day operations of the ministry here, everything that we do in our nursery and preschool, everything that we do in our elementary school, providing resources for our groups, those kinds of things. And so when we got the budget done, we felt like we budgeted, we had hit the maximum of what our budget could take care of, what our expected income for each week could take care of, and we still had some needs ahead of us. And so it was our intent at the beginning of the year to begin to bring before the church other projects that we wanted to get done this year that we saw as some pretty good assets and needs for getting things done. And so that was on the docket to bring before the church and say, hey, we need to raise X number of dollars for these future projects on top of the budget. And then in March, we got a really large donation that was given to us. And it wasn't necessarily, a tithe. It wasn't from someone who is a member of our church even. And we thought, wow, it was substantially large. It was $18,000. And so with that donation, we weren't going to have to come before the church and raise extra money to get a couple of these projects done. We were going to be able to get some of them done and then come and say, all right, here's what's left and here's what we need to raise. And then, as you know, COVID hit. And I don't believe COVID has affected our offerings terribly, but just enough. And so our weekly offerings have fallen short of meeting budget for the year in total. They have fallen short by about $12,000. Now, again, you don't see that in the offering report because of that $18,000 donation. And we put that just into our general fund rather than in our building fund. And so it shows, as you can see, if you look at our offering reports, we are still $6,000 above budget, in surplus for budget for the year to date. But that number really should be 18,000 and not 6,000. And so we're at a point where we've had to restructure a few things because of COVID. We've got several small groups that are meeting here. Our ministries are expanding. If you've not been to Crossroads in a while, you may not realize we probably have about 10 or 12 new families just since reopening, since COVID, and we are just through the roof excited about the growth that we're seeing. We're excited about the young families, the young children, the expansion of ministry, and just wonderful people that are coming and saying, God, we really believe this is where you want us. And so I wanted to show you, since there's enough new people, and since the underground, what we call the underground, our basement, is not finished yet. Many of you have never seen it, or it has been a long, long time since you've seen it. So I wanted to show you around just quickly, and then tell you where this $20,000 that we need to raise, where that's going to go. And let you kind of see the vision of how God is going to use you in His vision and in His calling to us as a church in helping people find and follow Jesus. And so let me give you a quick tour of maybe some of the places you do know and see, and then we'll run downstairs. So I am standing right here at the doors. Let me flip my camera around. I am standing here at the doors. Where you enter. So right here at the main doors where you come in, I'm standing here. And so as you come in, if you don't have children in our nursery and preschool, maybe you have never gone into this area before. But of course, our coffee bar and things, our commons area, as you can see, almost everything we have been renovating on this building for 9 years. And so God has blessed. We have spent almost $500,000 on this building. That includes exterior, that includes doors and windows, that includes a brand new parking lot. It was what was here before was absolutely devastating, and we were afraid we were going to lose cars in that parking lot. So God has really, really, really blessed us. We've done it all debt-free because we've either sold some properties that we had, or we sold a little chunk of the property here, and then we sold a piece of property that we had out on Buckner-Tarsney Road in order to invest in the work that's been done here. And so with the sale of those properties and the hard work digging deep in the pockets of our people, we have been able to spend $500,000 on improving this 50-year-old building and bringing it up to code and up to speed in many ways. And so if you don't have young kids, maybe you've never seen our nursery. Let me take a peek in here and show it to you. Obviously it is part of the remodel. This is one of the first rooms that we remodeled. And so you can see it there. And then we'll walk right through. There's an adjoining door between the nursery and our preschool room. And so as this is just a beautifully done nursery. We're very excited to have it. Very excited that God has blessed us with it. And then it leads over here to our preschool. Let me get a light on there. And again, just both of these rooms were done at the same time. And so we're very, very excited about what God has done through this. I'll take you right through here real quickly as we go in. Hopefully I don't make you all dizzy. Of course, there's the entrance closest to the main parking lot. But many of you may not know or may have never been down this way. But as you come in, if you come in this door and come in seeing the kids' check-in station, you look back here and there's a hallway, and this hallway leads toward the front entrance or a back entrance, depending on where you're looking. But this leads into a corridor that goes to our downstairs, which we call the underground. I'm going to take you there through another way, though. First, we're going to spin up through the upper room. Again, many of you have maybe never been in our upper room and seen how it's used. But this staircase right here leads to the upper room. So as you come in that doorway closest to our parking lot, the north entrance on the front of the building, this staircase leads to the upper room. And currently, the upper room is being used for our elementary age kids. It's also used on Sunday mornings. It's also used by our youth on Sunday nights. It is used by small groups that use it. Let's see. I think we have a small group that is going to be using it on Monday night. We have a small group two small groups that kind of fight for it on Wednesday nights. Sometimes they often use it in the parking lot. One of the groups meets in the parking lot, the other group meets up here. But a lot of our small groups have been driven to using our building because their homes are not big enough for social distancing and things like that. And so it's driven our larger groups here. I know, right? I made the stairs all the way without a breath. Thanks for that, Summer. I appreciate that. This room is also used, and it's beautiful. Years ago, this floor was about 9 different classrooms all cut up, and we just gutted it and turned it into what you see here today. And but the downside to this room, it is a beautiful room. We use it for elementary, we use it for youth, we use it for small groups. People have birthday parties up here. They have other celebrations up here. And then we have our breakfasts up here, all of our dinners that we've been having up here. Here's the downside to this: no elevator and steep stairs. This floor is not handicap accessible. So we have got a couple of issues. We have functions that people that are in our church that cannot do stairs, they can't attend a function that's up here. And so that's kind of a detriment to us. And the increased usage of small groups in our church. By the way, I don't know if you realize this, but on Sunday night, our youth meet here. They meet up here. We have a small group that is actually meeting in the preschool room right now on Sunday nights. A small group of ladies, not a very small group, but it is a small group of ladies that meet downstairs. And then, of course, we have another group that meets on Sunday nights that is needing to use this facility. So this is a great functional space. It is very, very, very useful. And we love it and we thank the Lord for it. But we need more space and we need some space that is handicap accessible for those folks that cannot do stairs. So I'm going to take you through again, and maybe another area that many of you have not seen, but let me take you through the balcony. I don't have lights on in the balcony. I should have, but we have a balcony. We call it the loft. And here in the loft, it's nothing very fancy to look at all. It's actually a very functional storage room. Let me see if I can get lights on here to show it to you. So we do have people that sit up here, family members of our tech team, but it is our storage room, so we store extra chairs up here. This is a lot of our technological stuff. They've got things stored here in the rafters. But yeah, old electronics that we've had to replace, different things, that's all here. When our kids are up in the balcony, this is the area that they're sitting in. And then over here in the corner is where we store our baptistry. It's where we store tables. And then, of course, the tech booth. There's the soundboard. There's where all the live streaming happens. And then all the lighting is adjusted and happens from over there. Again, not real beautiful, but a lot of great stuff that comes out of this area. And so we are thankful for this space. And then, obviously, anybody that's been attending Crossroads, you know what you're seeing down there. That's the view that you're used to, maybe just from a different angle. But let me take you down the stairs. So we've got this central staircase. If you've walked into the worship center, you've probably seen it, but you don't know where it leads. And so this staircase obviously leads up to the loft from the worship center. And then there's another staircase as you come around, and it goes downstairs. So let me take you down through the downstairs and show you just a few things and show you what is actually happening. Now, we actually started a little bit of construction today. We've started ripping out a wall. Those of you that have been down here, you'll be familiar with this space. Those of you that haven't, it won't make a lot of sense to you. Now, right now, you're looking down the hallway. Sharon and I live down this hallway. My offices are at the end of that hallway. My office, Daniel's office, and then our treasurer's office that's also doubles as our secretary's office. All of that space is down there. And then when you get to this hallway, you can look this way. And this is where our mechanical room is and a couple of bathrooms. Again, all space that has all been redone. But when you get to the bottom of the stairs, something looks very different today from what it looked like just yesterday. There used to be a wall right here separating the kitchen from this foyer area. And we have just, our friend Paul Walter has just ripped this wall out. And so you can see this area has the old flooring in it. It's the last space of old flooring right here. You've got new carpet and new carpet. And then down here, you've also got in the bathrooms. These bathrooms look just like the other bathrooms upstairs. But it's got the wood flooring in this bathroom, just like the upstairs bathrooms are. This wood flooring is going to come out, and it's going to come all the way through this area, and it will finish off the flooring. This wall is coming out, has come out, so that we can take that flooring all the way into the kitchen. That little piece of wall right there is still left to come out this afternoon. But we're going to replace all the flooring in the kitchen, so every speck of flooring is going to be done. Now, we have already purchased this flooring. It has been stored here in the underground for a couple of years. We just wanted to wait till it was time to remodel the kitchen to do that. So yeah, our kitchen's going to be a little ugly for a while. We've got drywall, where drywall meets paneling, where a door was replaced, we have exposed insulation. We have the last remnant of the old cabinets and the old paneling. Now, again, many of you may not know this, but this paneling is what filled this building. Just absolutely incredibly nauseating, unless you grew up in the 70s, and it was beautiful. But it has outlasted its effectiveness, and so we have sheetrocked the entire building, as you can see. And going into here. The last area that we saved for renovation was this area. This is what we call the underground. And this room is technically the same size as the upper room. Upstairs, that third floor that we were just on, where our kids and small groups and youth use, where we have birthday parties and things. But this is what we call the underground. Because it is the furthest underground of the building. There is no exit or entrance into this room from the outside. And so what we've done in this room was fully paneled, just like the kitchen was. It was paneling. It had just the most atrocious drop ceiling and lighting you've ever seen. It was dirty, dingy. They were actually shop lights that hung in the ceiling with a dirty plastic grid over it to make it look like these kind of fluorescent lights. But it was just a very, very dingy room. This floor was the same as what you see out here, but many of the tiles were coming up, and so we had to take it up. We have fixed our water issues in the building. That's part of the exterior, the new windows and doors, and so we've been able to get this sheetrocked. We've got it painted. We have a new ceiling, new lights. This room is almost ready for occupancy. We have about 3 things left to do in this room. As you look back over here, you'll find that is where the stairs, I'll take you over and show you real quick. But this is where the stairs from behind the kids' check-in station, those stairs are right there. And so that's where you would come down and come into this room. That's how our kids that will check in, our Quest kids, when they check in, they'll come through that stairway and come into this door. And this will be the new kids area on Sunday mornings at 10:30. This will kind of be like their own space. We've got a few more than just 3 things, but construction-wise, we've got about 3 things left to do here. We've got this floor to put in. Now, because it's a basement and because it has had previous leaks, we have to do something that's kind of expensive down here. We have to put a waterproofing layer down. So they're going to sand this floor. They're going to get it clean, get it smooth, and then they're going to put a layer of waterproofing down. And then we will put a wood flooring down, very similar, wood-looking laminate, very similar to what is in the bathrooms and what will be out in the kitchen and commons area out there. This is really the most expensive piece. Just to finish off this floor, to purchase the flooring, to purchase the moisture proofing, and for the installation, and in addition to the demo and installation out in the kitchen and that area by the stairs, that is coming in at a price tag of $15,000, which is really, really pretty good. But it is a lot of space. And so we've got this room left to finish, this flooring. As you can see, once we've got the flooring in, we need to put some trim down. So we'll put white trim down along the walls, just like the rest of the building. It will match. What we would like to do, and what we're thinking would really set this room off, is we would like to put sliding barn doors on these 3 storage rooms. Now, as you saw up in the loft, we have very, very little storage in this building. And so we did build out in this room these 3 rooms that are used for storage for things like Christmas decorations, additional kitchen equipment, children's ministry things that we don't use every day. And so that is used for that. Almost everything over there is about to go away. So we've got base trim, we've got flooring, and we need to put doors on these 3. And then construction-wise, this room is done. The finishing touches will be, we have already put places in this room for 3 TVs to where our kids will be able to watch their Superbook videos along with the lessons that are taught. So they'll go along those walls. We've got to purchase TVs for that. Obviously, the flooring, the prep and installation and demolition of existing flooring to get the floors done, and then doors. And then we can get by. We will need to purchase some additional tables and chairs, a few things like that. Those are things that can wait. We can use what we have for now. But we need about $20,000 to get this space finished. And then the only thing in this building left will be what you see out here in the kitchen. And that would involve, oh, there's Paul. He's back from lunch. And getting that done is, so getting the kitchen done would be obviously replacing the paneling with drywall and replacing cabinets. And so the vision here really is, once we're able to fund it, where that wall was that separated the kitchen from this hallway, that will become like a breakfast bar, a place where people can where we can lay out like meals and like a serving line, and you could go down the serving line and then straight into the underground, which would be a place for us to where we would have our Sunday morning breakfasts, and where we would have our meals, the meals that we need to do indoors. That would be available, and it's handicap accessible because we have the basement entrance doors right here. So you'd be able to come through these doors and down the hallway into the underground, which would be right at the end of that hallway. And just for those of you that maybe have never seen it before, Daniel and I, here is the office that Daniel and I share, and where I have a lot of meetings. A lot of our other meetings happen right here at the dining conference table, and so that's the building. You've gotten a full tour of the entire place, and so that's the space. We are so close. You may not realize this when you attend here at Crossroads, but we have 15,000 square feet. 15,000 square feet. And so we are anxious to be able to have that accessible and usable for all types of purposes. We already in the underground, even without the flooring down, even without the other finishing touches, we had a small group that was they needed to use that space. They had outgrown space in their homes. And people were having to choose whether or not to come to small group because of that issue. And we don't want people to have to choose whether or not to attend their group because group life is essential life at Crossroads. And so we don't want people having to pick and choose whether or not they can go, based on whether or not there's space for them. And so they used that space in the underground and had a meal set up and chairs and tables. And it was great to see that space being used. And here, hopefully very soon, they will be able to utilize that space that's finished out for them. But that's it. That's the tour. That's the pitch. If you want to invest, if you want to be a part, if you want to have a piece in the future of the gospel lives being lived out, helping people find and follow Jesus through the ministry of this church, we would encourage you to think about it, to pray about it, to talk about it with your spouse. All we need 20 $1,000 gifts. Or we need 40 $500 gifts. Or $21,000 gifts and now I'm going to get myself in trouble. No, 10 $1,000 gifts and 20 $500 gifts. Or any combination of those things. You say, Daryl, that's way out of our price range. First of all, pray and see what God would have you do to help your church continue to reach its community. I'm telling you, folks, if you've not been here since COVID struck, 10 to 15 new families that are attending here. It is exciting, and it's exciting to be a part of, and we do not want our building to ever be a hindrance to the gospel being preached, proclaimed, and lived out in ministry in this place. And so we would encourage you, whether it's 100, whether it's 50, whether it's 200, 250, 500, 1,000, get a piece of the action in finishing out the underground. And as I said, and as I shared yesterday, please do not rob from your tithes. Do not rob from God to give a gift to the building. Only offer that offering in our Time to Build fund. Only offer that if you are able to continue to give your tithes and other offerings that you've committed to. So some of you support missions. Don't stop supporting missions in order to give to the building. But not all of you do that. Some of you support Brittany and Elijah. Some of you support Stephanie. Don't stop doing that in order to give to the building. But there aren't very many people that support in those ways. And then don't stop tithing. Don't stop giving to the general fund in order to give to the building. It does no good to anybody, because if we can't keep the lights on, it does no good to have a finished underground. So pray. I'm asking you to pray. I'm asking you to talk to your family. I'm asking everybody to do something to get this $20,000 project done. And then all we'll have left is kitchen cabinets and drywall in the kitchen, and we will be done. I'm terribly, terribly excited about that day. I'm terribly excited about not having a remodeling project ahead of us, but having all of them behind us. And so thank you for considering. Thanks for taking the tour with me. And if there's any questions I can ask, if I've left something out, or if I've said something in my stammering and walking, I can't talk and chew bubble gum at the same time. I can't walk and do bubble gum. What was that? I can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. There you go. See, I can't even say it. But anyway, if there's something that I've left unsaid or something that was unclear, shoot me a text. I'd love to talk with you about it and cast the vision. I love talking about how this building is getting used in this season for the glory of the Lord. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a phenomenal day today.